Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle something you probably think you mastered way back in middle school, but it has this hidden twist that trips up pretty much everyone: metric conversions. Let's just dive right in with the big puzzle. Okay, we all know a meter is 1,000 millimeters. So, why isn't a square meter 1,000 square millimeters? It feels like it should be, right? Well, the answer isn't just about the numbers. It's about what those numbers are actually representing.
So, to solve that puzzle, we've got to go back to basics. We'll start at level 1, the basic swap. This is the simple, one-dimensional foundation that everything else is built on. Okay, this should look pretty familiar, right? These are the absolute fundamentals we all learned. A meter is 1,000 millimeters, a kilogram is 1,000 grams. It's just a simple, direct relationship. You know, any of these simple one-dimensional conversions really just boil down to two little steps. First, you find that core number, that conversion factor, like 1,000 from meters to millimeters. Then you just have to decide which way you're going. Going from a big unit to a small one, you multiply. Going from small to big, you divide. That's it. Simple. All right, basics are locked in. Let's level up. This is where things get really interesting, and where we finally start to unravel our original question by jumping into the second and third dimensions. The key mental shift you have to make is right here. We're not thinking about a simple line anymore. That's for length. For area, we're talking about a flat square, a surface. It has both length and width, 2 dimensions. And this is so important to visualize. A square meter isn't just some abstract concept. It's a real physical thing. It is literally a square that is 1 meter long and also 1 meter wide. And here it is. This is the aha moment. We just take that level 1 knowledge and we apply it to both sides of our square. We just swap out each meter for its millimeter equivalent. So 1 meter by 1 meter suddenly becomes 1,000 millimeters by 1,000 millimeters. And boom, there it is. See what happened? We're multiplying the length conversion by the width conversion. It's 1,000 times 1,000, and that gives us our 1 million. Just try to picture it. A single tile that's a meter on each side could be sliced up into 1 million tiny little square millimeters. And this same logic works for any area conversion. Let's say from square centimeters to square millimeters. Okay, the basic conversion factor is 10, right? So for area, we square it. 10 squared is 100. That means 5.6 square centimeters is just 5.6 times 100, which is 560 square millimeters. See? The pattern just holds up.
And you know what's great? Once you've got this down for area, you've already cracked the code for volume. It's the exact same idea. We're just adding one more dimension: depth. So instead of squaring the conversion factor, you just cube it. So let's ask the question: how many of those tiny cubic millimeters can you fit inside one single cubic meter? It's not 1,000, it's not 1,000,000, it's 1,000,000,000. It's a number that's almost too big to even wrap your head around. And the reason why is exactly the same as before. We're just in 3D now. A cubic meter is 1 meter long by 1 meter wide by 1 meter deep. So you replace each of those with 1,000 millimeters, and you get 1,000 times 1,000 times 1,000. That original conversion factor just gets cubed. Okay, you ready? Time to face the final boss. What happens when you've got to convert these compound units, things like pressure or density, where it's actually 2 different measurements mashed together? Let's take a look. The big secret here is don't panic. Don't try to solve the whole thing at once. You just break the problem apart. You treat it like 2 separate, smaller conversions that you already know exactly how to do. First, you deal with the top of the fraction, the numerator. Then you deal with the bottom, the denominator. So let's see how that works. The top part. 1 kilonewton is simply 1,000 newtons. Easy. Done. The bottom part. We just proved that 1 square meter is 1 million square millimeters. Done. Then you just put your new fraction back together and simplify it. It turns a scary problem into a clean, logical process. So, let's recap everything and put together the tools you now have in your conversion toolkit. Think of this as your mental checklist to get the right answer every single time. No more guesswork. It always starts with that simple level 1 conversion factor. If you're dealing with area, you square it.
If you're dealing with volume, you cube it. And if you run into one of those scary compound units, you just break it down and handle the top and bottom all by themselves. But really, the most important thing is that last one. Always try to visualize what you're converting. Is it a line, a square, or a cube? That picture in your head will guide you to the right logic every time.
You see, this whole thing isn't really just about passing a math test. It's about learning to look a little closer at the numbers we see all around us. When you understand the why behind the math, you have the power to actually question things. So now I'm curious, what other numbers in your daily life might have a hidden dimension you just haven't considered yet?